Hello, welcome back to Math Time with Professor Prime, and I'm your host as always, Professor Prime, and today we're going to talk about math and Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go has a lot of math in it as far as its gameplay is concerned, but also with how everything just functions and flows behind the scenes as well, right? There's a lot of math in creating a game like that. There's a lot of math in the money to be made by having a game like that. And to just hit you up with some math right off the bat, Pokemon Go is a free to play game that came out in 2016. It's been 5 years at the time of this recording, and it is still going strong. It has millions upon millions of active users. It has been downloaded billions of times. It has made billions of dollars. And there's a lot of math just at every step in this game. And I look forward to getting into that, and also just hearing from anyone if they have anything to add to the conversation. That's always a plus. That's really the point of all these things, to like expose people to different perspectives, but also seeing what they can add to the conversation. But even if you don't add something to the conversation, I hope you get something out of this. I hope you have fun with it. That being said, let's dive a bit deeper. So there are several reasons to play Pokemon Go, right? Like you could be really into the capturing element, or you could be into the battle element, or you could be into both. But it's interesting to note that like it didn't have the battle element at first, right? Which is kind of crazy to me, but like they got there. That being said, just capturing the Pokemon, there's a lot to that, right? Because you can walk around and you can capture Pokemon. You can go to different Pokestops, get items by spinning the Pokestop, and there's a lot of math and all of that. There's also raids, there's gym battles, and again like math and all of it. So when it comes to the walking around, that's a big key to Pokemon Go. The idea is you can walk around, you can go to different areas, capturing different Pokemon, and you're encouraged to walk around. One of the big things is that you accrue eggs, and those eggs hatch based on like the steps that you walked. They've had different ways that they were approaching that in the past, but currently at the time of this recording, it's how many steps you're taking. Um, and they use that to kind of say, oh, well, this person walked this many kilometers. They find a way to make that work. There's probably a more elegant way for me to say that, but my whole point is there's a way for them to measure how much you walk. And each egg has a certain amount of kilometers that needs to be walked in order to get it hatched. And when it's hatched, sometimes you'll get lucky, you'll get a new Pokemon. No matter what the case is, though, those Pokemon will have a lot of candies. And with candies, they're useful for evolving Pokemon, and they're useful for leveling them up, so to speak. And there's already like just so much math in that idea. Because you're getting a certain amount of candies from hatching a Pokemon, but you get a certain amount of candies from capturing them too, depending on where they're at in the evolutionary line. In general, it starts at 3, and if you're catching a higher evolved form, that number jumps up. Like for instance, if you're catching a mid form, you might get 5 candies from capturing that Pokemon. You could also transfer a Pokemon, and you get 1 candy. There are certain events like the Halloween stuff going on where those numbers get increased, right? They get like double. And the idea, which with all that is just like, right, there's a lot of math and measuring all this, and a lot of things implied by getting to a certain point with that math, if that makes sense. And one of the other things that you accrue is you go forward capturing Pokemon. Among other things, is Stardust, and you can use that to level up your Pokemon along with the candies. And so yeah, there's a lot of math and how all that works and how that functions. And you can do gym battles. Like I'm not sure if it's still the same, but like I know when I started like back in 2016, and I don't think it has changed, but the idea is like you had to get to level 5 to get to choose a gym, like a gym allegiance. And with the leveling up, you know, it's numerically based, right? You get different experience from like capturing Pokemon, doing certain events. There's a lot of math in all of this, and it's just like it's wild to me. It's really cool. And so with the gym battles, you can fight different gyms, like in a King of the Hill type match, where if you beat them and you all are holding the gym and you have like several Pokemon on there, you're gonna get more experience by holding the gym and like, or sorry, more coins by holding the gym and all that, and you get experience by defeating foes on there. Um, and you also have raids which are held at gym, and like at that point you can't fight anyone else in that gym, and no one can really take away the gym from you while like the raid is going on. Um, Now with the raids, there's a lot of math in how those work, right? Because um, you're gonna get like different Pokemon with different CP. CP is combat power. Each Pokemon has that. In general, it's a way to talk about how powerful they are. Just giving you that in numerical form. And so with raids, you'll get Pokemon. There's different levels to the raids, like 1 to 5 and all that stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And the idea is like 1 is easy, 5 is hard. And 5 is usually reserved for like the legendaries, as far as I know. If that's changed, please let me know. But the idea is like when you get to that raid, if you're getting something like a legendary, they're gonna have a lot of CP, and you're realistically, even if you have high CP Pokemon, you're not gonna be able to beat them alone. But if you have teammates, like people that belong to your gym or people that just want to get in on action, they can. And that makes it easier to defeat that Pokemon. And then when you defeat that Pokemon, their CP goes down, but you get whatever Pokemon is there. And yeah, so there's that. Um, Sorry, the ideas were in my head, but they weren't coming out right. So far, hopefully, you've seen that there's a lot of math and like just how all this works. And then the idea is that like so it is a free to play game, but of course, there's a lot of things that you could get by paying. Now, me personally, I haven't paid for anything in Pokemon Go, and I've had a pretty good experience. But there's some people out there who have, and as a result, they might have gotten certain items, or they might have put in like specifically like Pokeballs, like different Pokeballs. There was a better way to say that. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. So let me start over with that. The idea is like you can get certain things by buying, right? Real world, buddy. Oh God, it's falling apart. Um, but so you can get different items, for instance, by using real world currency. Like you can get a certain amount of Pokeballs or a certain amount of dollars or whatever your local currency is. You can get incense. You can get lures, and the thing with incense is like if you get like a regular one, for instance, it is active for like 30 minutes and it draws more Pokemon to you. For the lures, you can put them on Pokestops and they draw different Pokemon to you. There's different types of lures, and so yeah, there's a lot to consider. There's also a certain amount of Pokemon that you can have, and a certain amount of items that you can have just if you're playing for free, right? There's limits. Like I forget what it is for the items, but I know for the Pokemon, it's 300. So you'll have to transfer some out if you want to continue to capture Pokemon. And for items, you'll have to toss some things out if you want to continue to create items if you reach the limit. And the idea is like if you were spending some money, you could increase your item capacity and your Pokemon capacity. And that would be up to you. But for me, like I said, I'm fine. Like I have no problem tossing out items. I have no problem like transferring Pokemon. I don't need duplicates. I don't need certain Pokemon if I've already captured them. I would have preferred to keep them all, but that's just not how it is, and I can't do that without paying. So you got to decide what works for you with that. But it is interesting to balance that out. Um, and then there's like capturing Pokemon. There's different Pokeballs that increase the capture rate. Each Pokemon has its capture rate. Your levels help with things as well. There's a lot to consider, and like I think I talked about like levels a little bit, but the idea is right. You're building up experience, right? You're numerically measuring that. You get certain perks when you hit certain levels, and with level caps, I think right now we're currently at 50, but I could be mistaken. But the idea, as it is, if you're playing it and you're doing it for free, like it takes a while to get like a level, get to a new level, and that gets tougher like the higher you go. So you definitely have to put in the time and be capturing Pokemon and doing a bunch of events. And with the events, There's so many different things, right? There's just like regular like missions that you have to go on, or that you could go on. That like you have to meet certain qualifications. Like maybe you have to capture a certain amount of Pokemon. Maybe you have to do a certain amount of throws, like a certain amount of nice throws or a certain amount of great throws, and you'll get items for that. Maybe it's a certain amount of potions. Maybe it's a certain amount of candy, and like with certain events, you'll get specific Pokemon. So it does behoove you to do it, especially if you're like, oh, well, I want to capture every single Pokemon I can. You could also trade with friends, although, as far as I can tell, that's just locally. I haven't had any success doing it otherwise, which is unfortunate. But I hope that they work on that in the future. You can also battle people. You have like the Pokemon League battles, the Pokemon Go League battles, and there's like layers to that. But the idea is like you're facing people around the world and it doesn't have to be like local. And you might have something like um, the Great League, for instance, where you have a CP cap of 1500, and then like I think the Ultra League, which is like 2500, and a Masters League where it can be anything above that. But the whole idea is that there's math involved in all of that too. Like it's just crazy how much math is involved in this game, like how it functions, how it flows, and there's so much math behind the scenes, right? Because there's math in how this game is designed. There's math in creating the Pokemon, math in creating like the battle mechanics, math in the programming, math in the music, the sound effects, math in having it run and run smoothly and have that be an ongoing process. There's math in how they've implemented certain features. The list could go on. That being said, like I play Pokemon Go pretty frequently. I know a lot of people do too, and it's just like it's a very interesting game to me in like the respect that like it connects a lot of people, and it is a pretty decent experience for free. But you can get more if you do pay. I just don't want to. That being said, if I remember to do it, I'll put my trainer code in the description of this video, and people can feel free to add me. That being said, if you do play, I hope you're having a blast with it. If you don't, maybe give it a go if you're curious. But if you're not curious, that's fine too. But either way, I hope you all learned something while watching this video, or if you didn't learn anything super new, I hope that you walked away with a different perspective. And I hope you add to the conversation. That being said, I'll see you in the next video. Professor Prime out.